Have you ever walked into a social gathering with good intentions, maybe even excitement, only to feel your energy silently slipping away within minutes? You watch others light up, laugh loudly, move from person to person as if they've tapped into some invisible power source. Meanwhile, you feel something completely different. Your mind becoming crowded, your body tightening, your senses sharpening in a way that feels more overwhelming than enjoyable. It's not that you dislike people, it's not that you're shy, awkward, or antisocial. It's simply that your energy system responds to social environments in a quieter, more sensitive way. Most people never question why they get drained, so they blame themselves. You might think, why can't I be more like them? Why do I get tired so fast? What's wrong with me? But nothing is wrong with you. In fact, the way you feel is far more common than you realize. You are not lacking energy. You are simply spending energy in places others naturally absorb it. When you enter a social environment, your awareness expands instantly. Without trying, you start picking up dozens of signals at once. The tone of someone's voice, the tension between two people across the room, the emotional state of the person you're talking to, the shifting dynamics behind you, the loudness of the environment, the subtle pressure to respond quickly or smile at the right time. Your body is processing far more than the average person. It's not conscious effort, it's instinctive sensitivity. And sensitivity in the context of crowded or overstimulating environments translates into internal workload. While others focus primarily on the conversation in front of them, your attention stretches outward. You notice nuance, emotion, energy, and atmosphere. For someone wired like you, this constant scanning is natural, but it's draining. You are not just participating, you are absorbing, interpreting, and feeling. Every sound, every shift in energy, every facial expression carries information, and without realizing it, you're processing all of it at once. This doesn't mean you're weak or fragile. In fact, it often means you are deeply intuitive, emotionally perceptive, and highly aware of your surroundings. Qualities that make you compassionate, creative, and observant. But in the wrong environment, those same strengths can become overwhelming. Think of it this way. Some people walk into a room and draw energy from everything happening around them. You walk into a room and give energy to everything happening around you. You give attention, presence, emotional understanding, and mental awareness. You notice the tension that no one else feels. You sense when someone is uncomfortable. You pick up the unspoken as easily as others pick up the obvious. And because your system is always reading, sensing, and responding, your energy drains steadily, even if you're enjoying the conversation. The misunderstanding is simple but powerful. What excites others may exhaust you. Not because you're antisocial, but because your internal world is far more active, receptive, and sensitive than theirs. When you understand this, you stop fighting yourself. You stop pretending you should feel energized when you naturally don't. And for the first time, you begin to honor who you truly are. The reason social gatherings drain you isn't just emotional. It's energetic, neurological, and deeply connected to how your inner world operates. People who become tired in social situations usually share one powerful trait: heightened sensitivity. Sensitivity doesn't mean weakness, fragility, or shyness. It means your inner antenna is more finely tuned than most. You pick up signals others miss. You feel energies others ignore, and you respond to subtleties others don't even notice. What is nothing to someone else can be too much for you, not because you're overreacting, but because you're perceiving more. Imagine two radios in the same room. One radio picks up only the main broadcast. The other picks up not only the broadcast, but the background static, the faint voices from other channels, and every shift in frequency. You are that second radio. Your mind and nervous system receive more input, more emotional information, more energy, and more atmosphere than the average person. This expanded perception is a gift, but in crowded, loud, or emotionally complex environments, it becomes overwhelming. When you're in a social gathering, you don't just hear the words someone is speaking, you feel their intention behind those words. You sense whether they're nervous, hiding something, pretending to be confident, or trying to impress. You notice the disappointment in someone's eyes even when they smile. You feel the tension between two people standing across the room. You pick up on the exhaustion someone is masking with laughter. Your sensitivity is constantly working, constantly decoding, constantly taking in. It's like running multiple apps in the background. Your energy drains even when you're not doing anything big. Other people, by contrast, process much less. Their nervous systems filter out the extras. They don't notice the emotional undercurrents, the atmospheric shifts, or the subtle signals. They stay focused on enjoyment, the fun, the surface level interactions. So for them, a social gathering becomes energizing. The environment gives them stimulation. For you, the environment demands attention. You're not being fed, you're being drained. This sensitivity also makes you more affected by noise, lighting, chaotic conversations, superficial interactions, and social pressure. Something as small as forced small talk can feel like an energetic leak. Your mind doesn't enjoy pretending, performing, or engaging in empty words. You thrive in depth, sincerity, real connection, not in crowded rooms where everyone is talking and no one is truly listening. And then there's the energy exchange. You don't just listen to people, you absorb them. Their emotions, stress, excitement, anxieties, and moods enter your space. This is not something you consciously choose. It happens naturally because your boundaries are more permeable. Where others are like stone walls, you are like flowing water, open, responsive, impressionable. And water absorbs everything around it. This is why you often leave social gatherings feeling heavy, overstimulated, or mentally tired even if nothing bad happened. Your system was working the entire time. You were feeling, sensing, absorbing, and managing more than anyone else in the room. And the moment you step away, you feel an almost sacred relief. Your mind relaxes, your body softens, your energy begins to return. Understanding this sensitivity is the first step toward honoring it instead of fighting it. It's not a flaw. It's a sign of depth, awareness, and an evolved inner world. Feeling out of place in social gatherings is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that your inner world has grown in ways that no longer match the surface level nature of most social environments. When you walk into a crowded room, you don't enter it the way others do. Most people walk in with an external focus. They're thinking about who they'll talk to, what they'll say, how they look, or who's watching. Their attention is outward, but your attention naturally flows inward. This inner orientation creates a completely different experience. First, your mind becomes aware of the vibe before the people. You sense the atmosphere, the emotional temperature of the room, before you even talk to anyone. If the energy feels scattered, loud, or artificial, your body tenses. You feel a disconnection immediately, and this subtle discomfort stays with you the entire time you're there. Others ignore this, you don't. Then comes the second layer. Your values don't align with the structure of typical social settings. Most gatherings revolve around small talk, surface conversations, repetitive topics, social roles, and unspoken expectations. People talk just to fill silence, not to connect. They laugh to blend in, not because something is genuinely funny. They share opinions they don't truly believe, just to avoid standing out. If you're someone who seeks sincerity, depth, and presence, this environment feels alien. You're surrounded by people, yet you feel alone, not physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Third, your authenticity creates a natural tension. You don't know how to wear masks the way others do. You don't know how to fake interest, pretend enthusiasm, or participate in conversations that feel empty. Your energy is honest, and honesty is powerful. Sometimes too powerful for conventional social dynamics. People who thrive on superficial social energy don't know how to connect with someone who exists on a deeper frequency. So instead of harmonizing with the group, you feel like you're watching the group from the outside. Crowds also amplify your awareness of misalignment. You see people trying to impress, trying to be liked, trying to be interesting, trying to be relevant. You see the insecurity behind confidence, the loneliness behind loudness, the anxiety behind constant talking. And while you may not judge anyone, this level of perception makes it impossible for you to relax. You can't just hang out. You're too aware of what's really happening beneath the surface. And here's something deeper. Your soul seeks meaning, not noise. So when you're in a place where conversations lack authenticity, your inner world withdraws. You feel disconnected because there is nothing there for your spirit to hold on to. Your presence becomes background instead of participation. You begin to feel like a visitor in a place that isn't made for you. This is why you often find yourself longing for quiet corners, deep one-on-one conversations, or even the comfort of leaving early. You feel out of place because your inner world no longer fits the outer world that most people choose to live in. You haven't withdrawn from society, you've simply evolved past the level at which society interacts. Feeling out of place in crowds is not a failure. It's a sign of inner depth, and a sign that your energy belongs somewhere far more meaningful than the noise of ordinary gatherings. There comes a moment in life when you finally stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and begin asking the far more important question, "What is my energy trying to tell me?" The truth is, feeling drained after social gatherings is not a flaw in your personality. It is a form of inner wisdom. Your body, mind, and spirit are constantly communicating with you. Every time you feel exhausted in certain environments and peaceful in others, your system is giving you a map of who you truly are and what kind of energy nourishes you. You are not meant for noise, you are meant for depth. You are not meant for constant stimulation, you are meant for meaningful presence. You are not meant for environments that scatter attention. You thrive in spaces where attention can settle, breathe, and expand. When you honor this truth, everything in life becomes clearer. You start making choices not out of obligation, but out of alignment. Understanding your true nature begins with recognizing that your energy is not like everyone else's. Some people recharge through interaction, movement, and conversation. You recharge through silence, introspection, sincerity, and connection with your inner world. The moment you stop forcing yourself to behave like those around you, you begin to reclaim the power you've been losing in situations that were never designed for you. Instead of fighting your sensitivity, you can begin to use it. Your ability to feel deeply gives you a form of intelligence that can't be taught. You can sense when someone is hurting even when they pretend not to be. You can read the emotional truth behind words. You can notice the subtle shifts in energy that other people overlook. These are not weaknesses, they are strengths that the world desperately needs, but rarely understands. And here's another truth. You do not need large gatherings to feel connected. You thrive in authentic one-on-one moments. Conversations where the masks come off and the truth becomes visible. You thrive in quiet evenings, nature, introspective thoughts, deep connections, and meaningful silence. These are not lesser forms of connection. They are richer ones. They feed the parts of you that big crowds only drain. As you begin to understand your energy, you also begin to protect it. You realize you are under no obligation to attend every gathering, respond to every invitation, or please every person. You learn to say no without guilt. You learn to value your peace over other people's expectations. You begin to build a life that reflects who you are rather than who you think you're supposed to be. Eventually, something powerful happens. You no longer feel ashamed of your sensitivity. You no longer compare yourself to people who come alive in crowds. You understand that your quietness, sensitivity, and depth are not limitations. They are gateways to a more profound way of living. Knowing your true nature sets you free, free from pressure, free from comparison, free from pretending. It allows you to live with authenticity and to give your energy only where it grows rather than where it disappears.